Hey folks, so today I figured I would do a deck profile for one of my favourite decks of the BT14 format, at least one of the new decks. Still haven't fully got my voice back, but as you can tell I'm getting there. This happens all the time, so I'm used to it. So yeah, Fenriloogamon. Took it to locals yesterday, came first with it out of 10 people. 12 people maybe actually. This deck is a lot of fun. So let's just get stuck straight into it. For the eggs, we are of course running 4 Bowmon. It is the card that brings the entire deck together. So as he inherited, when a Digimon card with a Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait is trashed from your hand, you can Digivolve into it. And this just allows you to accelerate your Digivolutions as you're using the when attacking effects of your Loogamon line. So yeah, you only want to run 4 of this and nothing else. Now for the rookies, we're running 4 copies of Dracmon. So he has on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, trash a card with Undead or Dark Animal, and add 1 to your hand. So I think you have to trash first and then add, is how that's worded. So if you only reveal 1, it has to be trashed. This is great for trash setup and for searching out your pieces. Although one thing to consider is he is not a Dark Animal himself, so you can't revive him with the effects of your Loogamon line, which came up yesterday and it was quite annoying. But yeah, just one thing to consider. And inherited effect, when attacking, it can Digivolve into an Undead or Dark Animal from the trash for its cost. So if you don't see your Loogamon, this is quite good for making do essentially. But you do want to find your Loogamon. And speaking of Loogamon, we are running 4 copies of Loogamon. This is sort of the main playmaker of the deck, and the one you want to see as quickly as possible. So start with your main phase by placing an Eiji Nagasumi from hand or trash as its bottom Digivolution card, gain a memory. This is a really strong effect, because if your Eiji ends up in the trash, it allows you to recycle it and gain memory for doing so. And the inherited effect, when you play a card with the Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos trait, gain a memory. So yeah, this is probably your most important rookie of the deck, and you'll never want to run this at less than 4. I would run them higher if I could, but sadly that's not a thing. So just a couple of other rookies then. We're running 1 copy of the starter deck Phascomon. It has blocker and can't attack players, but it is a Dark Animal. And 2 copies of the BT13 Phascomon. Has on deletion, draw 1 and trash 1, so it's good for getting your trash set up. I actually played this, I was in 2 memory, my opponent had a Death X, so I played this to put them to 1, immediately die, draw 1, trash a BlackGatomon. It was a great move, ended up paying off for me. And inherited end of your opponent's turn, draw 1, trash 1. Not going to come up very often, but it's definitely nice to have. And then for our champions, we're running 3 copies of BlackGatomon. This card is a beast, so it has rush. It's also a Dark Animal, so you can revive it off the effects of your Loogamon line. This card is crazy. I remember opening this pre-release copy at the BT8 pre-release, thinking, what the hell am I going to do with this? And now that this deck's out, I'm very glad I have it. So yeah, just a great card all around. And then we are running 3 copies of Fangmon from BT14. This is another really great card for your deck. Dark Animal, so you can revive it. It has on play, and when attacking, you can return a purple Digimon card with Dark Animal from trash to hand, and then trash a card in your hand. So it's good to recycle the pieces that you've maybe had in security and you need, while also trashing cards in your hand, like your BlackGatomons and stuff, just to get your setup. Whenever I first played this deck, I didn't really know how to use this effectively, but now that I do, it is one hell of a card. And finally, 4 copies of Loogarmon. When attacking by trashing a card in your hand, draw 1. If Eiji is in his Digivolution cards, gain a memory. Sometimes you have to do this, but ideally it never comes up. The inherited effect, when you play a card with Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos, gain a memory, same as Loogamon. Those both combo very well with a level 5 that you will see. So yeah, that's the level 4s. For the level 5s, we are running 4 copies of Helloogarmon. And this card is probably one of my favorites in the deck. It is very strong. End of your turn, delete this Digimon and draw 2, and return a Loogamon from your hand, trash to your hand. So it allows you to set up. And on deletion, you can trash up to 3 cards in your hand with Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos, and then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower +1 for every card trash. So this can up to a level 6. And sometimes I find myself, if I'm in a bad situation, I just play this for 7, let it die to its end of turn effect, draw 2, recycle a Loogamon, and then pop my opponent's level 6. So it's a bit like an option card when you do it like that, which is quite interesting, but it's a very, very good card. I've seen some people say it should be limited. I don't really agree with that, but definitely a good card. One Kimeramon. Yeah, playing out level 4s. You want to have Kimeramon. So you can DNA over any 2 level 4s. When Digivolving, you can place a level 5 or lower as his bottom source from the trash. And then up to 4 of your opponent's Digimon get -1,000 for each of this Digimon's colours, and it gains those colours for every source under it. So this could be usually white and purple. Sometimes yellow if you put a BlackGatomon under it, but typically white and purple. And if it has 4 or more colours, it gets +4,000 DP. Never going to happen. That's not happening in this deck, because it could only have a maximum of 3. But yeah, still very good. If you suspend your entire board, need 1 more swing, DNA 2 level 4s into this, and then swing for game. Pretty good. And finally, we've got the main level 5 of the deck, 4 copies of Soloogarmon. This is one that you want to see when you're pulling off your combo. When Digivolving, you can play a level 3 or lower card with Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos from your trash without paying the cost. If Eiji is in his Digivolution cards, you can increase that to a level 4 or lower. So what I like to do this most of the time is I revive Fangmon. Use Fangmon's effect to get back something I need and trash a level 4. Usually a BlackGatomon, and then continue on from there. When attacking by trashing a card in your hand, gain a memory. So you'll want to swing in with this, trash Fenriloogamon, and then use the effect of the egg to Digivolve into Fenriloogamon. And the inherited, when you play a card with Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos, you may unsuspend this Digimon. And that's kind of why you want to go Fenri over this as opposed to either of these 2. So yeah, it's a really good card all around. Finally, for the level 6s, we are just running 4 copies of Fenriloogamon. This card is a beast. So when Digivolving, you can play a level 4 or lower card with a Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos traits against trash without paying the cost. If Eiji is in his Digivolution cards, you add 2 to the number of cards his Digimon plays. So most of the time you're reviving 3 things from the trash, which is insane. When attacking, once per turn by deleting one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, you can unsuspend them. For each of your Digimon, you can add 1 to the level that this effect may choose. Whenever you're pulling off your full combo, you'll typically have like 4 or 5 bodies on board. So I attacked with this and popped a Death X to unsuspend. So you know that was a thing. And then your turn, the turn end condition is the opponent having 3 or more memory. So essentially, if you play into your combo and it puts you to 1, would it put your opponent to 1 or 2 memory, it's still your turn until they reach 3, which is a quite ridiculous effect. But yeah, this card is insane. Now onto the teamers. We're running 4 copies of the best purple teamer in the game, Analogouth. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card among them to your hand, and trash the rest. One of my games yesterday, I played it twice, hit it once in security. Each one of them got me a Loogamon and trashed an Eiji, which was beautiful. Yeah, this card is crazy. I don't know, at all turns, one of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Digivolution cards is deleted. You can suspend him to gain a memory and hatch an egg. This is really good if you go into hell to pop something. Then you can suspend these, keep turn, hatch an egg, and then play in the Loogamon that you recycled. So yeah, you definitely want to run this card at 4. Then we're running 4 copies of the main player of the deck for Eiji Nagasumi. So in security, you play him without paying the cost. Start your main phase if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory, and then main Mind Link with a Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos. So you can take him and you can put him in the Digivolution sources of one of your Digimon. And his inherited is all turns, while his Dark Animal or Sons of Chaos gains Alliance and Blocker. And end of all turns, you can play him from the sources without paying the cost. That'll also count as playing a Sons of Chaos. So it'll trigger your Loogamon and Loogarmon's inherited effects to gain memory, which I didn't know until yesterday, which I think is crazy. And then finally, one copy of Starter Deck Matt. He's a memory setter, so if you have 2 or less, set it to 3. And when one of your effects trashes a card in your hand, you can suspend him to gain a memory. You're doing that a lot in this deck, so he's definitely nice to see. I don't know if I cut anything to put him up to 2, but he's definitely nice to see as a one-off. Lastly, our option cards. Plain purple, one Calling from the Darkness. I would run this more if I could. Delete one of your Digimon, then return up to 2 purple Digimon cards from your trash to your hand. Yeah, do I even have to explain why this card is incredibly strong? It's limited to 1 for a reason. So, we run it. 2 Missed Memory Dust. I really like this card. My opponent in the final round was also playing Loogamon, but he didn't run this. Said it was an interesting attack. I like it. You trash 2 cards from the top of your deck, so mill 2 and then draw 1, and then you place it in the battle area. It's quite good early game to sort of set up your trash a little bit, and then pop it later for the memory whenever you're popping off your combo. Can't complain. And finally, it's BT14 for training. So you reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 purple card among them to the hand, and return the rest to the bottom, then place this in the battle area, and then later on you can delay, pop this to Digimon a purple Digimon in your hand for cost -2. Yeah, these training cards are everywhere now. They're kind of a requirement. So yeah, that was the deck. I'm planning on recording a couple more deck profiles today, just to kind of get all the BT14 stuff out of the way before EX5 drops on Friday. So yeah, stay tuned and you'll see more deck profiles where this came from. Bye guys.